Hello, my friends. Welcome back to part 2 of Winky Wright versus Felix Trinidad. This is the break after round 6. Winky Wright's starting to become a little bit more aggressive in round 6, coming forward sometimes. I forgot what his coach is telling him, but he did. He gave him some really good advice. If you watch this fight on your own on full volume, you'll listen to you can hear what his trainer's saying. I always forget that Felix Trinidad was trained by his father. So the points we touched on before was how Trinidad has most of his weight on the front leg. He's getting stuck moving, can't move as gracefully. Winky Wright's popping that jab, bringing it back. We discussed his jab. Now he's coming forward a little bit. He's switching up that jab for the left hand sometimes. I want to go back to see when he throws the jab. No, I can't. Okay, so pops a jab. Fakes the jab, throws the left hand. His jab is well respected, I believe, at this point now, so he could fake it now and throw the left hand. And you see he's always stepping to his right on the outside of to the left side of Felix Trinidad, which is the natural path for you want to get on the outside of the opponent. If you're orthodox, Felix Trinidad wants to move left, Winky Wright wants to move right. That's the typical orthodox versus southpaw, vice versa game plan, which is who can get the foot on the outside. Right now, Winky Wright seems to be on the outside a little bit more, so his left hand is lined up a little bit between. Nice left hands. And I love how he's switching it between the left hand, the jab, the left hand, feinting, popping that left hand. I want to see that left hand again. Now I see how from here, most people throw the backhand and they would twist and throw it, right? What Winky Wright is doing here is he's setting it up. So what he's doing, see how that right shoulder is forward, the back shoulder is facing over there? What he does, instead of throwing the left hand and twisting his body all at once, watch what he does with his upper body. So now shoulders are side by side. He's a little bit more squared, but his left hand is closer to Trinidad. And he just pops it out like a jab. Okay? So typically, this motion, see how he kind of stops and then throws it? Okay? Mayweather does this with his right hand, especially guys that are really bladed, meaning where their lead shoulder is really forward and their back shoulder is back. Sometimes, instead of doing the whole thing in one motion, it might be too obvious what they're doing. They'll square up, right? And then they'll pop their left hand or their backhand like a jab. Manny Pacquiao does this too. He used to put weight on his front leg here, square up, and then throw the left hand. And it just pops out like a jab, a lot harder to see. Typically, they would just twist the body and sling the backhand at the same time. But some fighters, they twist the body, and it's setting up the left hand to make it less obvious that it's coming. And that's how you know when someone's in control, when they can set up their shots. Mayweather did it a lot because he would be so sideways. If he threw the right hand, it would be too obvious. He would square up and then land the right hand and go back under and then go back to his original stance. Now Trinidad, like I said, he's attacking the outsides of Winky Wright way too much. He should be attacking the inside of the guard. Winky Wright can't block both. He can't block the inside and the outside at the same time. It's impossible because the gloves are too small to block both. And this is what Mayweather did to Cotto. He would throw the right hook to his ears, make him open up his guard, and then come in the middle, or vice versa. So with this type of guard, you want to go inside. I would throw a right hand. I'll throw a jab to the body. Even if it doesn't land, doesn't matter. You just want Winky Wright to bring his elbows together, bring his hands down maybe, or I'll throw a jab in between his gloves or a right hand, and then work the outside. But Felix seems to be going to the outside from the very beginning. I would even throw right uppercuts, left uppercuts, right in the middle of the guard. Let him block it, doesn't matter. I'm focusing on landing to the outside anyways. See, that's good. Oh, that was nice. See how Trinidad went? Boom, boom. He should have done more of this type of stuff. But here, Winky Wright comes back with a right uppercut. Target the inside of the guard. And now the outside opens up. Now a guy like Winky Wright that leans back, a lot of fighters, they get discouraged after they miss a punch, or especially in this position. Now what you want to do to someone like this that has a lot of weight on their back foot is, this position is the same as if how Felix Trinidad has all his weight on the front foot and Winky Wright has all the weight on his back foot. So Felix Trinidad is falling forward while Winky Wright is falling backwards. What I like to do if I see someone lean back is I'll throw 3 jabs and try to tip them over their back leg. It's the same thing as if he was over his front leg, but he's over his back leg here. You see his shoulder is way off. He's leaning a lot backwards. So what we want to do here is, a lot of fighters, they'll get discouraged when someone leans away and they make them miss. What I would do is right hands or jabbing, and not regular jabs, push jabs. I'm trying to push him over, tip him over his back leg. So when someone leans back like that, they don't have any balance behind them. We'll see if Felix Trinidad does this. That was a nice right hand. I think Felix Trinidad should have done more of this. More of that. Straight right, step over, and then right here he should have started his second attack, maybe with a left hook, a right hand left hook. And this is what happens when you don't take away the jab in the first few rounds, is it becomes more and more of a problem, and you got to respect it more than you should. Especially if someone has a great jab. If you neglect it, like I said earlier on, it stays a problem for the whole time, but it becomes even a bigger problem later on because you really can't set up your offense, and now you respect it too much. It's better to respect it a little bit, try to take it away in the beginning, and then focus on your work. But if you don't try to take it away in the beginning, and then it becomes a bigger problem, and then it really messes up your offense later on in the fight. But yeah, when someone leans back, they lean back for you to stop throwing, basically, if that makes sense. But when someone leans back, come in with 2 push jabs, push them back, push their chin up, and make them lean back even more, off balance. Either Winky Wright is just too big he could handle the power of Felix Trinidad, or he's just too on point in this fight. I really like Winky Wright's performance versus Sugar Shane Mosley. That'll be another fight that I'll be studying soon. But yeah, when someone leans all the way back, it's the same as someone leaning all the way forward. You just gotta take advantage of that. Don't get discouraged if someone leans back and makes you miss. Now Winky's on the attack. I think his coach somewhere around here, he told him you gotta start attacking a little bit. This guy doesn't have anything. I think so. And you see, this is what I like about Winky Wright, is his front foot. Okay, when your front foot, we gotta wait for this thing to go. Okay, watch where his front foot is. Now, his front foot is over here. Now, from here, right, to where this guy's head is, Winky Wright is back here. He could actually lean in and still be on balance over here. So he has this much. Think of a windshield wiper. Winky Wright could lean all the way from this guy's head to this guy's head. That's how much range he has. This is something that Benitez did versus Duran too. But when you keep the front foot forward, you can basically lean forward a lot more. And then if his head was here and Trinidad attacked, he could lean all the way back. Okay, with Trinidad, this is as far forward as he can lean. This space, because his foot is a lot more underneath him than what Winky Wright is doing. So that's why fighters, they move in with their feet and forward. You're setting up your balance ahead of you, if that makes sense. And let's see that again. And you're getting closer to the target. See that? So this is where Winky Wright started. Before he steps with the front foot, watch what he does. Now he's almost over his foot. And you see he could land that jab. And if he wanted, he could sit back. Okay, so that's why fighters like Winky Wright, they keep their lead foot forward. I'll push it out a little bit more. Gives you more of a base. Felix Trinidad is throwing everything with power. You don't want to do that. You want to throw speed in there. Speed. Jab hook. What I would do against Winky Wright, if I was Trinidad, sorry for all the commotion outside, is I would jab with the left hand, of course, and then throw a hook. I don't care if it lands, but I want to go inside, outside as fast as I can. If you throw power, Winky Wright could time it, because power is a lot slower than speed, of course, and it's easier to time. But speed, it's harder to time, so pop, I come around. Just make his hands move for a round. Make his defense, make him move his hands around. Don't just throw power. Power is slow. You want fast. See that double jab? You should have ended with a left uppercut or a left hook. I don't know what they're doing outside. I'm sorry for the noises. Nice jab by Winky Wright. But at this point, I think Felix Trinidad, he's having too much trouble with the jab of Winky Wright. That was nice. That was a nice right hand after the left hand. But see, he's trying to rip punches too much. That was a nice combination, but a little bit less power. Maybe just power on the last punch, but not on all four. That was a nice left hand by Winky. Yeah, he had some long arms. Too much weight on the front foot by Felix Trinidad. Now, if he had put weight on the back foot, jab, move around, made Winky miss, then at this point he would have been able to put his weight forward. This is the fighters with one style, so they can't really change up their style. That becomes their detriment. Is when their style doesn't work in a fight, they can't switch it up because they never have before. Or even if they have, they just can't switch it up because that's what they've been trained to do. See, you can't get away. Watch his legs. They're too close to each other. He's too off balance. Like Mike Tyson, he could never box. It was either he's going to knock you out or you're going to knock him out. I think he won some decisions, but it's either he's going to take you out or you're going to take him out. He had one style. Joe Frazier, he couldn't switch it up. So Joe Frazier, when he fought Foreman, he just knew how to move in, which is not good to do with George Foreman. But he couldn't move and move around. So that's the thing with sticking to one style and not working on the other parts of your boxing. It's always better to be a well-rounded fighter. Well, not always better. If you have, I don't know. It just depends on you, I guess. But it's always good to know how to jab and move around. That should never not be in your arsenal. Even if you're a power puncher coming forward, knockout artist, you should always be able to jab and move around. I think that's why the amateurs are important. You learn how to box in the amateurs, and then if you go pro, you learn how to fight. But if you don't box as much as the amateurs, you neglect that in your pro training, because pro training you're working more to hurt than box. The amateurs is where you get your reps in, jabbing, footwork, and then I think that's what makes a well-rounded fighter. See right there when Winky leans back. Right here. Now this is discouraging because Felix might think, oh, he's too far away. This is when I would actually pump 2 or 3 jabs right here. Even if I get countered, I'm just going to put my right hand in front of my face, cover up, and just pop that jab. But see how he turns with him? I would go right through him. If someone leans back against you, like Winky Wright has no balance here. His shoulder is above here. Any more and he's falling over. Okay. When you see someone in this position, don't get discouraged. Pop them, jab. I don't care if it lands, just push them back because he can't move back as swiftly. See how he has to bring his weight forward again before he can move again. See, now Felix is throwing nice combinations in and out, in between and out and outside of the guard. See how Winky now, he could sit on the front leg and work the body and work in close. See how he's doing this? He can do this now because he worked so much on his jab on the outside, and he's winning, and he got his distance under control. He did all of that. Felix Trinidad, he started off like this from the beginning of the fight, and that's what was wrong. Now Winky Wright, he started on his back foot, he jabbed, he threw the left hand, he pushed, he moved back, he outworked Felix Trinidad, he got his distance under control, he got everything under control. Now later in the fight, 9th round, he could start sitting on the front foot and fighting on the inside in some times. So fighting with your weight on the front foot, it's not bad, like what Winky Wright did there. But you don't want to do it in the first round, especially against a great boxer. You could do it against a bad boxer. If they're not as good, you could go on the front leg right away. But against someone like Winky Wright, you can't sit on the front leg right away. gives him a jab, and then gives him a left hand. Gives him a left hand, gives him a jab. Constantly switching stuff up. See how Winky Wright's sitting more on the inside now? You can, like I said, you could afford to do that when it's later in the fight and you've done everything right prior to that. See right there? Now I know Winky Wright might throw a check hook, but from right here, right there, see, this is when the jab stays a problem because he didn't take care of it. He's leaning back. This is when you come in with jabs to the chin, push his chin up, make him fall over backwards. Imagine that. You're not really trying to push, make him fall over, but you're imagining you're tipping him over. I love how Winky Wright switches between a jab and a left hand. He gives you a jab or two and then gives you a straight left. You don't know what's coming. See right there again. Right there. Do you think Winky Wright could move backwards from here? Look, he has to bring his weight forward, and then he could move. That was nice. When someone is leaning back like this, okay, nope, I don't care if they're going to catch you or something. Winky Wright's not going to land a powerful shot from here. Too much weight on the back leg. Maybe a check hook or something. Cover up your face with the right hand. Stick out your jab like a sword and just push him back. Drive your feet into him. That was nice. See, sometimes he shows him the left, he gives him a jab. He shows him the jab, he gives him a left. But I see the range of Winky Wright, how he leans all the way back and lean forward. I don't know what that was for low blow. Now, for example, in this round, the fight's already been won. There's no puncher's chance. Now, of course, you can't stop the fight because it's to the fans or whatever. They still want to see a fight. But at this point, there's nothing that you can do if you're Felix Trinidad to win the fight. You just got to keep losing rounds. And that's when I like to see fights getting. It's like in chess. In chess, you can resign. You don't go all the way until it's checkmate all the time, especially against good players. As soon as you notice that there's no coming back for another move, you resign. But that's not with boxing. Boxing, you got to keep getting pummeled until everybody sees that you can't do anything more. So I don't know. I like in chess that you can resign if you know you can't come back to win. Just resign. But boxing, there's always the false sense of a punch you can land to change the fight. Now, it's not very false. There is a chance, but it's very, very slim, especially if you've been getting dominated. But it's what makes fans keep watching the fight and the fighters keep fighting, is they believe that they can land that one punch, change it. Which happens in some cases, but most times, if someone's getting dominated for 10 rounds, I don't think they're gonna do much in the last 2 rounds to do anything significant. Now, if I'm Winky Wright, maybe the 11th and 12th round, I'll really put it on. I box and fight this one a little bit. Less fighting, more fast hands boxing. Last 2 rounds, I'll really close out the show. But you see in the range of how Winky Wright could lean all the way back, lean forward. It's because of his feet. It's his weight distribution. I love how he slings those jabs, slings those left hands. Shows you the jab, feints it, gives you that left hand, fakes that left hand, gives you that jab. Beautiful. And it's all because he got into Felix Trinidad's head with the jab, so that's how he can do these moves. If Felix Trinidad didn't respect his jab or he didn't eat jabs, it would be hard for Winky Wright to fake the jab and throw the left. So you build respect with a punch and then you start faking it, and then the fighter has to respect your fakes, the opponent. Look how he just pops it out. Pop. It's like he has a string attached to Felix Trinidad's face, and there's a string and it's just getting pulled by someone standing here. He's got a string and they're just pulling the jab out. It's not a punch, it's just being shot straight out. Bang. Readjust it. Bang. If you want less tells on your jab, I would watch Winky Wright. How the jab comes out, not how he brings it back. It's a lost effort now in the fight. If I'm Winky Wright, I'll just keep popping jabs and left hands. If they're landing, keep doing that until the last 2 rounds. Then I'll start mixing it up a lot more. That was nice. That was beautiful. And the thing I like about Winky Wright is he threw that uppercut maybe once. I don't even remember him throwing it more than once. He threw it to the body. Maybe he threw it twice before. Perfectly executed. So some punches, like the lead uppercut, you don't want to throw it too many times, so the opponent isn't thinking about blocking it. Winky Wright's throwing the 2 basic punches, which is the jab and the left hand. Every fighter throws these. Now other fighters, they have other punches, which is like the right uppercut, the left uppercut, the body shot. What Winky Wright is doing, he's giving you the basic punches, which are his best, but they are basic, the jab and the left. And then Felix Trinidad is thinking so much about those is that he doesn't even think about the uppercut that might come. So sometimes sometimes certain punches like uppercuts and body shots, sprinkle them out during the fight. Don't throw too many of them. That way your opponent isn't thinking of blocking them. Like if you're fighting a guy like Mickey Ward, you're protecting your liver the whole time because you know he's trying to get to the liver when he was fighting. But what you want to do if you're Mickey Ward, throw other punches and sprinkle in that liver shot. Don't throw it all the time. No, he could get away with it because he could just land it so good. But the more you throw a punch, the more your opponent thinks about defending against that punch. And that's what my coach used to say. He said boxing is like cooking. If you add all the punches all at once in the first round, you mess up the pot. You want to add the jab first. You want to feint. You want to add your footwork, your head movement for a round or two. Then you want to add the straight right. Get that working when the opponent catches on to that. You add the left hook, and then you add the left uppercut. So it's gradual build-up until the last part of the fight where you're throwing everything, combinations, mixing it up. In the beginning, you want to slowly give problems to your opponent. Oh my God, that jab. I might have to do a video on Instagram just that jab again. I believe this is round 11. Yeah, the fight should have been stopped. But like I said, the difference between boxing and chess is the people watching. I think a lot of injuries and a lot of bad things that happen in boxing to fighters would have been lessened if fighters resigned, if they knew they couldn't continue. Which some people will say it's a coward's move, but chess players, if they see they're losing, they're just gonna resign if they can't come back from something. Because in chess, there's no lucky punch, there's no lucky power shot. If you're losing, you can't get up and slap the opponent and knock them out. You lost. In boxing, you could always, even if you're losing, you could land that haymaker, but it's very minimal that happens. Usually if someone's getting outclassed, they're going to get outclassed. Lucky shots usually happen earlier in the fight than later. Terrific jabs. Now this round, I would start adding all the punches. He doesn't need to, he's just looking for the win. But if he wants to get a big knockout, I would start throwing uppercuts, body shots. I would jab, left hand, right uppercut, left hand. Because Felix Trinidad does not have anything left at this point. Like right there, I would let my hands go. Pop him with the jab, left hand, right uppercut, body shot. Mix it up. Try to go for the knockout. Like you land two of those, throw something else. Now try to close off the show pretty nice. But some fighters, they just want to win. Some fighters, they want that highlight. It all depends on the fighter. But I don't think Winky Wright thinks that, that Felix Trinidad is a threat anymore. No real instructions you can give at this point. You just want your fighter to get up and finish the fight. If you are giving instructions, you're lying to yourself and the fighter. Now this corner should give instructions because they might say, okay, go for the knockout now, close the show, or just don't be stupid. But if you're the other fighter, if you're Felix Trinidad, this is coach, you're just telling him you got to go all out. That's basically all you can say. There's no outboxing him anymore. There's no doing anything. Again, sorry for the quality. I couldn't find a better quality. I wish Winky Wright would go in for the kill, as they say it. I think he's just happy for the win. See, Felix Trinidad's coming out jacked. This is what I hate when a fighter does what they should have done during the fight in the last round. Now he's actually jabbing in the last round instead of doing it in the first. Nice. Was that the first left hand that Winky threw to the body? If you know what you should have done earlier in the fight, don't wait till the last round to do it. Do it earlier in the fight when it was the right time to do it. That was the left hook that Felix Trinidad was trying to land all night, but it was too difficult against a southpaw like Winky Wright. Oh, that rhymed. And see, now he's mixing up outside, inside, but Winky Wright, he's just, I don't know why I'm even talking at this point. We'll just watch the last minute of the fight. Jeez. I think Winky could have tried harder to go for the knockout, but maybe he's just good with the win. This fight, it should have been stopped by round 9, 10. But like I said, in chess, if someone's beating someone, there's no chance of that person that's getting beat getting up and hurting the other chess player and winning. They just gotta, if they can't make any right moves anymore, they've lost. There's nothing around that. In boxing, you always have the chance until the last second to win the fight, even if you've lost every round. That's the only difference between chess and boxing, and that's why I believe chess is harder than boxing. There's no luck. It's all purposeful. I wanted to show in this video, so for the beginners, is how Winky Wright started with his weight on the back leg, used his distance, got everything working, his jab, his straight left, and then he started leaning in, working the body, working in close sometimes, going back. How he had his front foot forward, how when Winky Wright leaned all the way back, Trinidad should have came in with the jab, pushed him back, and then worked his power punches. And yeah, if you could think of anything else in the comments to let beginners learn more about boxing, that'd be highly appreciated. But I think this is one of the best fighters for a beginner to watch. It shows you what to do, what not to do. And thank you. I'll be back with some more videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.